Hey everybody, this is Furious Jodo here, just doing another commentary practice. This is actually a game I tried to record earlier, but my settings were messed up and it did not work. For anyone just now tuning in, this is me. Well, just now tuning in, I'm not streaming. For anyone just checking this out, it is not necessarily trying to be Gosu caster or anything. I'm just trying to have fun with it and do some practicing for myself. I do appreciate any suggestions anyone has, and it really, I mean, it's just something that's kind of fun to do. So we have HuK spawning as the blue Protoss in the southern position, the 6 o'clock position, and we have Morrow spawning as the red Terran in the east position. We'll call that 3 o'clock, even though it's not really, it's more like 2:45. Morrow's supply depot positioning is always interesting to me, but if you're not walling off, I guess it's not really that necessary. And we also have HuK laying down his pylon, chrono boosting some probes as soon as that pylon came out. Scouting probe relatively early for HuK, but wants to make sure to see if there's any kind of Reaper play going on. And he will. HuK's pretty good at keeping that probe alive, so we'll leave him there. We'll go check things back out at HuK's base. We are at 13 supply, still no gateway yet. Probably going to drop it around 14. And we do have more probes coming out. Chrono boosting, queuing up a little bit. This is actually something that I do as well. I mean, I'm not on HuK's level or anything. But it takes about 2 probes worth before the chrono boost wears off. So if I chrono boost my Nexus at all, I always just do 2 probes because you want to make sure that you can get it going. Barracks going down for Morrow here, and we do have a refinery going down as well. We'll see some gas coming into effect, which is relatively normal, relatively realistic build. Not going for a super fast Reaper or anything like that, probably, but he is going for gas. We'll probably see a pretty basic. Morrow's a very, very solid player, and for any of you know the results, this is actually from the ESL tournament that happened about a week ago now. This is relatively early on, not really a. I'm not really doing these matches because I know they're particularly good or anything. Cybercore going down for HuK, by the way. I'm just doing these to really practice for myself and try to do things like not say all the time. We do have Morrow scouting around in his fog. Morrow, actually, you will notice, from what the games I've seen at least, he always has patrolling Marines scouting everything. He really knows what's going down. Another assimilator going down for HuK. I didn't mention the first one, but there is another one now. And we do have second gas going down for Morrow as well. We do have a factory going down for Morrow. Some Marines being produced. Nothing super crazy, no add-on to that barracks yet. What he may do is use this barracks or maybe even use this factory depending on the build he wants to do. Build an add-on and then fly one or the other to it. Looks like he may be doing that with the factory since we don't see that happening on the barracks. We do have warp gates being researched for HuK. A little behind on his chrono boost actually. He's at 50 energy, that's 2 chrono boosts. Surprised not to see one of those go down on the warp gate technology. But he may also not be planning on kind of mass gate units, maybe planning maybe a later timing push of some sort. We do have a factory flying around, not really sure why he built it there if he was just going to fly it over here, but that's cool. We do have another pylon going down for HuK, just trying to get some visibility around his base. Another gateway going down as well for HuK, and we have that a starport, which I didn't mention but saw a second ago. Starport going down now. We also have a tech lab going down on the factory. Not sure if we'll see anything come out of that tech lab on the factory. I think with a starport this quickly, what he'll do is he'll actually swap the position. Yep, there it goes. So he's going to land the starport on the tech lab. That makes it so he can very, very quickly get something like a Banshee out. Oh, mislands it there. And HuK is going with a robotics facility. And again, this is actually a really strange video to do because I did this entire commentary, but my audio wasn't recording because I got a kind of a new setup. You probably even still hear my mouse clicking. I have the loudest mouse in the world. Regardless of what mic I use, what's going on, this mouse is heard. So I apologize for that. Trying to get it as far away from my voice as possible. We do have a scan coming down from Morrow, checking things out. Probably sees, what's he see? I always do it the slow way. Sees some stalkers, sees some zealots, sees a sentry. Nothing too crazy. Didn't see any, and he saw the robotics facility as well. So Morrow has a pretty good idea of what HuK's doing. HuK doesn't have the best idea of what Morrow's doing, and we do actually have a Raven out from that starport. And I do apologize, I've had the production tab closed this entire time. Immortal coming out now for HuK, Stim, Banshee, and Marauder. Bunch of stuff coming out right now for Morrow. Pretty interesting composition. I'm a little surprised to see a Raven come out this early, but at the same time, especially if you're going up against Stalkers, those point defense drones make a huge difference. This will also allow him to shut down any kind of observers from HuK. Here's an observer coming in now, and it looks like he saw it but didn't notice it. So that observer will go unharassed for the moment. And we'll see what goes on with that. Going back at HuK space, we do have Immortals being pushed out still. We have Twilight Council coming down. So probably going to try to get Blink for these Stalkers or maybe Zealot Legs. I'm not sure which one I prefer in this, especially going up against this combination. Blink allows you to get up that ramp, but I think Zealot Legs would make those Marauders a lot less effective against Zealots. But again, when you have two forces, I mean with the Stalkers, you're not going to see as much kiting going on from the Marauders. So HuK's actually moving in with a bit of a force here. He's got that observer spotting for him. He's going to do some damage to supply depots. See how Morrow reacts. Look like he's going to stay on the high ground and just kind of take things out. And he does see that observer because he has a Raven. So which is going to allow him to pretty much control this. I don't see HuK really doing a lot with this push. He does have two Immortals, a bunch of Zealots, and a bunch of Stalkers, but not quite enough to really do a lot with. And he's got, looks like he forgot this Immortal out of that control group. Oh, there it goes. Go, little buddy. All right, and actually during that whole time, there was a Banshee attacking. And HuK actually spawned in some Stalkers. I did see this replay earlier, so it's even funnier that I missed it because I didn't miss it before. Hellion coming in now from Morrow, and we do have an Immortal just still catching up. And wow, that Hellion will blow up really, really quickly. Nice little ball of units here for Morrow. He's got that Raven, a Banshee. He's still got this other Banshee, which he's sending back to his base now. Probably going to get some repairs going down, producing Hellions, Marines, Marauders, and now some Medivacs coming out. Those may actually help him out quite a bit. We do have a pretty scary force from HuK here as well. Not sure that he entirely, he doesn't really have vision on that side of the map right now, so he doesn't know what's going on. But Morrow doesn't know what's going on either. We do have a Hellion for Morrow. Morrow very good at just always constantly having scouts going around the entire map. He wants to make sure he doesn't get caught with an expo. Battle going down here over by Morrow's base. I don't think HuK has the forces to take this out. With that Medivac and those point defense drones, you're definitely going to have issues. And it looks like Morrow will win this battle. I think HuK needs to pull back. Raven's almost down. Oh, tried to focus down the Raven. Didn't work. These Immortals looks like he's just going to sacrifice this whole army. More reinforcements coming from Morrow. And definitely not a great engagement for HuK. So now HuK is actually quite the deficit. He's only got two Stalkers against this relatively handy force of Morrow. Morrow also has his expansion going down. He realizes that HuK is at a disadvantage at the moment, using that time to capitalize and get some more money going. HuK is still got a bit of a force, but definitely nothing too scary for Morrow right now. And we do see a probe from HuK going around, just doing the same thing Morrow's doing, scouting out, making sure there's no secret expansions or anything like that. Nothing being researched in the Twilight Council. Not sure that it was necessary to get that just yet. I think if you're not going to be using it, you probably would want to just hold off. Probably affected a bit by losing most of his forces in that battle. Here comes a push from Morrow. I don't know that HuK's forces are enough to handle this. We do have more reinforcements coming from Morrow. Still pulls back. Oh. And pulls back his force. I think Morrow's force could definitely take out HuK's at the moment. HuK does have some Stalkers and Sentries coming out. Zealot. Nothing coming out this robotics facility. He doesn't have the money for another Immortal just yet. Let's see if we see one goes down when he hits 250. We do have that force moving out from HuK. And right at 250, nothing. So we didn't build that Immortal yet. So, looks like an attack here. I don't think that HuK's forces can handle this. Morrow pulling his SCVs to help things out. What those actually may do also is block up those zealots a little bit, get in their way, make it so that they can't get to those marauders or anything. Nice play by Morrow, and his force is definitely going to take out HuK's here. He may be able to push this all the way into HuK's base. We got zealots running back to the ramp. Stalker's just running over there. He doesn't have blink. Why are you doing that? SCV's moving in, leading the charge. We got that Raven still. That Raven may get focused. Nope. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that HuK can do to hold this off. And there's the good game. So, Morrow takes game 1 from HuK. Again, this is a game from the ESL Invitational. It had a really long title. It was in Germany. Some people may have heard of it. Anyway, so this is Furious Jodo. This is game 1. Moving on to game 2. I usually watch my recordings after, so it's not necessarily going to happen the same chunk of time. But I will let you guys know by uploading them, I guess. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any suggestions, if anything really bothers you about my commentary, let me know. Again, just doing this for fun at the moment. Really it's fun. It's actually really fun to do. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys later.